Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing a Dark Willow analysis. I played this game a couple days ago. This is the first time I'm really looking at it. I picked this one because it's got Tinker and Slark. The very hated, they're both hated individually, and now I've got both in the same game. So I thought this could be good to go over, kind of talk about how to approach both of those heroes. This game goes quite long, actually, though. So, well, all the videos are long anyway, so not that it matters. Anyways, let's just start. So, the enemy team picked Tusk first, and I'm about to pick first for my team. So, there's not that much to talk about before that. Against Tusk, he has a save in his Snowball. His ganking is pretty good because of Ice Shards and Tag Team. You don't really need to play around his ult. That's more of a core issue than a support. Because his ult pierces spell immunity and it can cancel TP, so people like Juggernaut, Lifestealer, people who get BKBs and usually escape easily, that's more of an issue for them. As a support, you get your ass kicked by everyone, so, you know, you just have to worry about the first two, really. The Ice Shards, so having something like a Sand King who can, using his stun, he can go over Ice Shards, that's pretty nice, or knowing you'll probably have to get a Force Staff. And then Snowball, that's the interesting one, because when he uses it, he is sort of immune, and he can make other people immune when he picks them up, and then he has to roll to whatever he targeted. So that can be a pain if you're getting ganked, but you can also use it as a setup against him. So someone like Disruptor who can put down his ultimate, let's say Disruptor knows he's getting targeted, right before it hits him, he can drop his ultimate and his kinetic field, and in that way you use the Snowball against him. So that's what I mean by a targeted stun that lasts on the ground, someone like Jakiro's Ice Path, where compare that to like Lena's W, that has to hit when she uses it, even though it's AoE and ground targeted. Sorry, something's like stuck in my throat. I just ate. What was I just saying? Oh, so like if she mistimes that and that lands before the Snowball hits her or hits whatever the target is, then it's just gone. Whereas if you use something like Jakiro's W that sticks on the ground for a little bit, there's like a window of when he hits and then comes out of it. Even if you don't have it perfectly timed, or maybe you do have it perfectly timed to have it down before it hits, and it's still there when he does hit, however you want to look at that. But something like that's nice. So I pick... we'll just use the whole draft screen, right? So I picked Dark Willow. Does this picture look weird to you guys? It looks weird to me. Anyways, Dark Willow, I kind of just wanted to play her. I was a bit tired of playing the same friggin' 3 heroes. I used to play a lot of Dark Willow before they nerfed her a bit, and I started playing others. But I felt like trying her out again, seeing how she felt now. Against Tusk, I think she's okay, although honestly I would say Tusk actually has a lot of things against her. So the ground targeting, like I mentioned, your Q on Dark Willow, I don't even remember what it's called actually. Bramble Maze. So you can place that down, and even though that doesn't cover everywhere, it's kind of nice because it is spread out a bit, and if he brings other people with him in the Snowball, you know, they all pop out in a little bit different spots, so hopefully you can hit a couple people. Your W means that when he hits you with his like snowballs onto you, and you use Shadow Realm, you can't get like usually he wants to follow that up by maybe ice sharding your path off and then using Tag Team and punching you while you try to walk around him. Whereas if you have Shadow Realm, ice shards will still hit you, but you can't be punched by him and whoever's there. And the Tag Team is what gets you now. Like he brings one other person and they Tag Team hit you if he has level 1, level 2 of it. That's where all the damage really comes from him. So having Shadow Realm to avoid that's pretty nice. And then your Fear, you can time that Although it's a little scary, you need to make sure you don't hit before his snowball ends. But you know where they're all gonna be, right? If he saves someone and then snowballs to a target, you know they're all gonna hit the same area. As long as he's not targeting you, you can do it. That's pretty nice. But in reverse, snowball gets him out of Bedlam. That's your I guess first part of your ult where it spins around you and does damage. So he can just do that, be invulnerable to you. And he can also snowball through a lot of your stuff. Your stun is very obvious when your stun's about to go off because there's a timer above his head that everyone can see. He can easily snowball that. So I wouldn't say the matchup is particularly amazing. But I mean, it's just Tusk. You don't really need to play specifically against Tusk when he comes up. So anyways, this is the total draft that ends up coming out, which I'm sure you've read in this time that I've been talking. So it's not a bad pick. In the end, I would say Dark Willow and Underlord combo very nicely between your Q Bramble Maze and your E, and then his Pit. When you use Fear on someone and you stick them in all of that, they get rooted forever. They keep trying to run through Pit, they get rooted, then they hit your root, then they hit his root again, then your stun goes off. All the whole time, Firestorm should be going off on them, so that's a really strong combo. Very good disengage between his ult and your ult, so I like those two a lot together. Then Kunkka has great follow-up to what I just mentioned before, or if it's just you two, that's also fine. Just a lot of AoE stuns that work really well together. Same with Skywrath. It's a lot of good setup for his ultimate. He just waits for you to root someone or to stun someone, and then he can drop his ult. So very nice stuff. Arc Warden I wouldn't say he like specifically combos with you. Having the root gives him time to put down his E, whatever it's called. The little ghost that sits there and sets up and then hits whoever is nearby. So that's nice, but I wouldn't say that's not really something you aim to specifically combo for. So in terms of my team, I think it's quite nice. The downsides to our team right now are that we have no immediate stuns. Like Kunkka's are technically stuns, but there's 1.6 seconds I think on Torrent, and then like 3.1 seconds on his ultimate. So if you need an instant stun, that's not happening. My stun takes like 4 seconds. Underlord has a root, no stun. Skywrath, no stuns at all, not roots, maybe a slow. Kunkka's E is the fastest thing we have, like if he X marks someone and then uses it again immediately. That's not really a stun. Arc Warden can get a scythe, but that's about it. So that's the weakness on our draft, a lack of stuns, or a lack of instant stuns. But because we have really good AoE, following Kunkka's Torrents and his Ghost Ship, it's alright. Against their team, so actually, well, let's not worry about that too much. Let's talk about what I have written down. It's the high priorities, right? So like I just mentioned, the combos, that's pretty good for team fighting. That's what wins us our fights. Then I want to get Arc Warden started. He is the hard carry on our team. Since Kunkka's cleave got nerfed a bit, it now factors in armor. He's not so much of a late game hero. I mean, he's still strong, don't get me wrong. But Arc Warden is definitely the hard carry on our team. He's the one we want to get going, have a strong start, to be able to transition forward. Spoiler alert, that's not going to happen this game if I recall correctly. He's going to have a very rough start. But that happens too. So hopefully I'll be able to talk about that and get something out of that. So a sub point to Arc Warden getting started is that a lot of times what we're going to want is 4 of us, Dark Willow, Underlord, Kunkka, and Skywrath, are going to want to be together and do stuff. And we're going to want to leave Arc Warden on his own to farm. Now, if you look at their team, you've got Tusk, Slark, and Tinker, who... Tinker doesn't hunt for people, but Tinker gets bots who simply join any gank that goes on. And Slark, once he has a Shadow Blade, loves hunting people. And with Tusk, who also likes to gank people, it's really dangerous to leave Arc Warden alone. So that's why I have it specifically to heavily ward areas for Slark, because that's how you should play against Slark anyways. But in particular, because we have a hero that specifically wants to be on his own a lot, we really need to know where Slark is at as much as possible. I was going to say at all times, but that's, it's not possible. Then the fears. Sorry. So, what's it called? Terrorize. There we go. It's been a while. Don't judge me. So Terrorize is really nice. Fears are a recent mechanic into Dota, relatively. Or at least more fears. There were a couple, but her fear is pretty good. It's really large. 4 seconds is a really long time, too. And usually they're running away, right? But again, we have all this AoE roots and eventually stuns. So they are... It's almost like a stun because they're trying to run away, but they're rooted. That's similar to a stun. And they have a lot of saves and escapes on their team. Like Timber chains away, really annoying. Slark, you've all seen Slark. He uses his ultimate and his Q and his pounce, and you want to hit your keyboard. Tinker can blink almost out of anything. It's really frustrating. He blinks, rearms, TP's out. Dazzle has a save. Tusk has a snowball. So what I really want to be looking for is to, specifically on Slark when he ultimates and no one can target him, I'm trying to hit him with the fear in that time, because a lot of times what Slark wants to do is jump in, get low, use his ultimate, keep attacking to kill the target, and then he'll Q as it's about to end, and then pounce out to escape, and then like Shadow Blade or something. So what I want to aim to do is to hit him when he uses his ultimate, because it's very unlikely that Slark is going to ult and then use his Q right away, because usually no one can hit him in that time. So there's nothing to purge off, and they save it for the end of the ultimate. So what I'm hoping to do is to hit him with the fear so that he wastes the time of his ultimate being feared, hoping that he hasn't set up to purge it, and then he does get the heal from it, but he's not doing damage, and hopefully it sets him up into, like what I said, all the roots and the stuns, and then we can finish him off. But all the others, the saves and all of that, I'm hoping to fear them so that they can't get it off. Like, I fear Dazzle away, so not only can he not cast Grave, but he's also running away, and so then we can kill whoever has dived in. Similarly to Timber, fear him so he can't Timber chain away, blah, blah, blah. Okay, considerations. Even though I say considerations, this is actually kind of like my high priority game plan. The start is to shut down Timbersaw. Timbersaw with his E. This is taking a lot longer than I want. Sorry, I don't know if it's boring to look at the same screen. It probably is. But this is a very... I don't know. I like this a lot. So I do want to talk about this. Timbersaw is really frustrating once he gets a couple levels in his E. In fact, once he does, like, say 2 levels, and then he has, like, 1 point in Timber chain, or... even without that, I can't do much against him. In fact, no one can, really. It takes a lot of us to be able to do anything to him. So those first few minutes are when you want to focus on a Timbersaw, as any set of heroes, really, because he's only going to get harder and harder to kill, but at the start of the game, he's actually not very tanky. And so that's your time to blow all of your spells, all of your auto attacks. You want to do as much damage as you can and prevent him from getting that start for as long as you can. But eventually he is going to hit that threshold where you can't really do much. And so that's when I am going to shift my focus to Tinker, who between the 4 and 12 minute mark is going to be farming his bots. It's very obvious where he's going to be. He's going to be in the mid lane. He's going to use March or just auto attack and push out the wave. Then he's going to walk over to either his offlane jungle where you can hit multiple camps, or I can't really point it out. Maybe here. Over here on the map, he's going to be here or he's going to be here. And he's going to use March to hit multiple camps at a time. Then he's going to walk back here, do it again to push this lane out, and then go back. He's going to try to stack these and do them with March. And that is where Tinker is going to be for until he has his bots, is this area. So you know he's going to be there, and you want to slow him down, either by blocking camps, being there to harass him, especially if he gets a soul ring. Some people do. He's going to be using that to be able to cast March and rearm repeatedly, and you can damage him in that time. Not everyone gets rearm until they have bots. It kind of depends how your lane is going. But if he's farming jungle like that, many people do, and that'll bring him low. You could potentially get a kill. Once he gets bots, it's a lot harder to do anything about him. So you really want to use that time when he has nothing, which is the 4 to 12 minute marks, to slow him down. And then 12 to 20 minutes is when you want to shut down Slark. So Slark has a really weird... Sorry, drinking some water. Slark has a really weird power curve. Level 1 or 2, depending when he gets it. When he gets Essence Shift, he's actually quite strong, because Essence Shift steals stats and gives him damage. At early levels, it's pretty good for skirmishes and fights when it's like 2v2. So don't underestimate Slark at those early levels. But then after that, he's a bit weak until he hits his level 6. Then once he has level 6, because he has essentially a free regen as long as he steps out of sight a bit, it becomes very difficult to kill him. You can't just harass him to get low and then commit on him. You have to commit and 100 and O him pretty much. And that includes going through purges, and if he uses his ultimate, say you don't have stuns for all that. So once he has 6, it's pretty hard. And then this 12 to 20 minute mark, he wants to farm up his Shadow Blade, which should come around 12 minutes. Even if he gets power treads and wraith bands, obviously this changes a lot depending on how his lane goes and how good he is at farming. But around 12-15 is when I would expect a Shadow Blade from a Slark in many cases. And once he has Shadow Blade, what he wants to do is get kills to augment his farm. So what he does is he kills some jungle camps, then he Shadow Blades to a target, tries to kill them, then goes back to farming jungle while he heals up, and then repeats this cycle. So what you want to do is prevent that by having sentries, wards, everything to see him where he is when he's trying to do that. Keep your team together and prevent all that. Okay, let's get rid of this and just get started, because I think this game's already like an hour. I'm probably going to play a lot of it on like 2 times speed or like 1.5. In terms of items, I got the wards and courier, I think. Gave a tango to Kunkka. Nothing crazy. Got a salve. I like to get a salve in most cases, but especially when I want my carry to get a really good start, like Arc Warden, I want to make sure he doesn't have to leave base or leave the lane to go to base. So I get the salve. 1 mango. You have a decent mana pool and really long cooldowns on your spells, so you don't really need it.
No.
But it's nice to have.
Just to be clear, if I call you mate, I don't mean it literally.
And then 2 sets of tangos. I think I say that in most of my videos,
If I
but
call you mate, I don't mean it literally.
sorry, all those voice lines. I think it's louder to me than I have it set in the video. So I couldn't even hear myself talk. So here, I think I could have rooted a little lower and maybe prevent Tusk from doing much. I hesitated a bit. I think I should have done it sooner and we would have gotten the rune. Not a big deal. I mean, it kind of is, but we get him really low, so in that sense, it's kind of passable. So Dazzle comes up instead of Tusk. I didn't expect that. It's probably okay. I messed some of those up a bit. It's kind of like a combined mess up effort on our part. But it's hard now. Like I said, I want to focus. I want to harass Timber But Dazzle's also really good at trading, so it gets kind of... I want to focus Timber, but I also can't. I'm trying to get him into a good spot to use my root because I'm almost at mana pool, but I also feel like I'll lose a lot of the trades because of his Q. And I was feeling a little uncomfortable right now because I hadn't played Dark Willow in a long time. I go up there to secure the range creep because Arc Warden wasn't going to get it. You don't want to get those denied. It's worth taking damage to get those. So I see that he wants to go in, and so that's when I use my root. I get my stun to follow up because I see he's getting low. This game I try, usually I maxed, when I used to play Dark Willow more, I would max my Q a lot because it scaled pretty well. And I just felt like 1 point in Shadow Realm was enough. Now, even back then, but now too, a lot of people max Shadow Realm by level 7. So I thought I would try that this game. I don't know how I feel about it quite yet, but yeah, right now I'm just trying to waste Timber's time, keep him away from Arc Warden. As you can see, the whole harass him for the first 4 minutes didn't really go amazing. I didn't expect it to with an Arc Warden Dark Willow lane, honestly. I kind of feel like Skyrash should have been here, but see here, I try to line up my route so that he has to go through 2, which honestly he shouldn't have. Like, he just walked into that, but there's plenty of room for him to go around, and that's the correct thing to do. I get boots and a wand, or a stick anyways. More movement speed to be able to get around and do stuff. Usually you can't make this pull, but I thought that maybe since he cut the trees I could do it, but I don't know if you can usually. Maybe I messed it up, but it didn't work out, so I go to do a regular pull.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I want to get a clarity right here, you can see, because I had to eat my mango, and I don't want to have to walk back to base just to get more mana. So I'm getting a clarity and the ward. So my plan is to My plan is to ward while my clarity is going off. So eventually I have to leave this lane to place the ward, and while I'm doing that, I might as well try to get some mana from the clarity, as opposed to if I stay in lane and try to use the clarity and Timber sees me, well, he's just going to try to hit me and break my clarity. So you want to kind of combine when you're going to be walking around free from harass and enemy heroes to use clarities. So that's why I'm getting both of those to do that. So here you can see where I put this root. This guy was dying, right? I thought he wanted to get away, so I put it like this so that the first root would hit him and then he could walk this way to escape. Timber learned his lesson a bit. He didn't just run through all of these. This guy stayed around the tower, which is pretty daring of him. Thought maybe we could get him actually, but if I had thought Timber was going to do that, I would have changed where my roots were placed, but I thought we were just trying to disengage from that. But in the end, it's okay. I think I salved Arc Warden 2 at that time when he used his salve, which was a bit of a mistake on our part. But, I mean, it was like in the moment. You can't really, like, no time. So, this is what I'm talking about. Place my ward, and I use my clarity. No heroes are here. Tinker. There, hold on. So right now, if you look at this, Kunka's doing great. Popping off. 2 kills. Level 7, Tinker's level 4. So I was sitting mid, seeing if I could do anything. I only have mana for 1 spell right now. But I have my magic stick, and it's pretty easy. If Kunkka, he doesn't have his ultimate, but between having his Q and his E and then his Tidebringer with 1 more stun, aka my root or my stun, we could probably get a kill on a level 4 Tinker. So I was standing around looking to see if he would show up. I don't. I see them going bottom, so I come down here. That's annoying about Slark. He can purge off your stun and your roots. But we get 1 kill, save him. I don't know if he would have died anyways, but I get more gold, so. The problem with this, though, is that I did recognize I was kind of leaving Arc Warden alone now. I felt safe walking mid because we had just almost killed Timbersaw. I knew he was going to go Shrine. I knew I had a bit of time to at least place the ward. And then I saw Underlord dying bottom, or being gone on and potentially dying. And snap decision went because I wasn't sure if...
Straight to the bottom with you.
I think... I don't remember if Skywrath was dead or whatever, but I didn't see anyone reacting. And so I went and thought that maybe Skywrath will be able to go top. Because honestly, Skywrath can do a lot more to Timbersaw than I can. Right now I see them both in mid. I don't know how I feel about that because Arc Warden is having a really rough time now. Which, if you recall, the high considerations and whatever, all of that, high priority, having Arc Warden get a good start was one of them, and he is not. But our other heroes are doing pretty well, so I don't know. It's not the greatest trade-off because your number one hero is having a really bad time. I pull, try to get some farm, since I'm down here and I can't teleport. He's being gone on, and just me pinging that I don't have a teleport. Still on cooldown anyways. And they kill him, which this is the start of him just having like a really tough time. And maybe I could have... See, I don't feel like I could have, actually. Like, they bring Tusk and Timbersaw, and I really can't secure him farm. I can maybe prevent him from dying, but anytime he walks up, they're gonna go on him a lot. It really needs Skywrath to be up there to be able to actually, like, scare them away. See, this is what I was talking about earlier, too. You can just Shadow Realm, waste all his time on tag team. I didn't actually get the attack off. That was a mistake on my part. I could have used that more offensively, I think. AKA place it a bit lower down. But anyways, to finish my thought process was that I don't feel like I can secure Arc Warden's lane right now. So what I'm trying to do is to combine with Kunkka and Underlord, and potentially Skywrath if he's not top, to create pressure in other parts of the map so that Tusk and Dazzle have to come down. Because Timber alone is kind of killing him, but also shouldn't be able to. This was kind of a mistake on our part. We just ruined the combo. It needs like Tusk or Dazzle to then kill Arc Warden. Timber +1 can kill Arc Warden fairly consistently, but Timber alone can't really. So what I'm trying to do is play on other parts of the map and force them to respond so that Arc Warden has some space, which wasn't working entirely. But I would argue that we made Slark slow down a bit, and Tinker at least slow down a bit. So I don't know. We were getting kills on Tinker. Usually I like to try to ward up his camps, but I wasn't able to do that this game just because we were like always fighting in other lanes, and I'm pretty underleveled, to be honest. Although I think Skywrath, yeah, Skywrath was doing fine, so me getting the tome, I guess I wasn't like totally underleveled, because I'm able to at least hit 6 with it. I feel okay doing this because I know he can't really kill me easily like this, except that he almost does. And I messed this up a little. He's gonna get this kill. I don't remember what he does. Oh yeah, he splashes that. Yeah, that's nice. I misplayed that a bit. I think what I could have done instead was to use the fear instead of trying to get the kill myself. I should have just feared him because Kunkka was on his way. And then once Kunkka's there, then we can do stuff. It's really hard to get Timbersaw, since none of us have like the immediate stun. Timber chains out. That was a bit of a waste of a fear. That guy was kind of dead. I was trying to analyze my own gameplay. That's why I wasn't even talking. I was trying to decide if what I was doing right now was good or not. So, like I said, this is what I mentioned earlier, where like 4 of us are trying to do something and create space, and it's sort of working. We're getting kills. Arc Warden's having some space to himself, but he was like really slowed down. And if we pause, can I look at? Yeah, okay. So if we take a look at items here. Let's see, where's the enemy team? Okay, so he doesn't have his bots yet, so that's pretty good. My 4 to 12 minute mark, we're now at 13 minutes and he still doesn't have bots, so that's quite nice. Slark has half his Shadow Blade and the other half is on its way, I think, or really soon it's going to be there. That's pretty close to the timing I mentioned. Timbersaw doesn't have a lot. Arcane Soul Ring. Well, it's okay. But it could be worse. Like, he could be doing a lot better too. So this is kind of okay for us. We've killed him 3 times, which is not bad considering he's at a point in the game where he should be fairly strong. But we fortunately have a lot of burst, a lot of magic damage. So we're able to kill him, slow him down, and give us something. If we look at our team, Kunkka is doing a lot right now. He 6-0-4, has a Shadow Blade. He's been in a lot of fights. This is part of our space making, is trying to play around Kunkka, a bit with Underlord too. He's also quite strong, even though he doesn't look like he has a lot. This guy's maxing out his passive, or at least getting a lot of points in it, so he actually has a lot of damage. He's stolen 23 damage and has 100 bonus. And when you think about the fact that we're 13 minutes in, he's doing like 200 damage, it's actually quite good for fights. Skyrath does a lot of damage even though he doesn't have a lot, and you can see he's also been in a lot of fights. I've been in a lot of fights. And if you look at this guy, he's a bit struggling since he has just 2 Wraith Bands. He's going Midas first, which I don't know if that's really the build nowadays. I'm not sure. I don't really play Arc Warden, but I think a lot of people get Necro Book first. But Midas is just like, okay, I don't know. The fact he doesn't have it now is a bit sad, though. Not that I'm not blaming him. Like, it's a tough lane. I'm just saying, like, objectively for our team, the fact that he doesn't have this right now, kind of a tough spot. So that's why we're trying to do a lot. By the way, I'm building an urn next because Timbersaw and Slark have a lot of regen. Slark especially when he uses his ult. And Dazzle also has a heal. So I'm hoping to eventually get a Soul Vessel and drop it on people so that they can't heal in fights. And since we're fighting so much, it's 12-17 at 13 minutes. You know, might as well get an urn, get a lot of charges off of that. Do I have anything else to say about that? I don't think so.
Radiant's top tower is under
See, there's a lot to this game. 70-minute game. Around there. Go 2 times right now. Nothing's going on. I'm asking this guy to bottle me when he comes back. What you should do as Kunkka, or anyone who gets a bottle when you come out. Just try to like heal up your teammates a little bit. Now I have mana to use everything. Nice. And I didn't have to use anything. I placed this ward to try to spot Tinker farming, because he still didn't have his bot, so I still know he's going to be in this area, and you can see that's where those wards are reflected. Did I even place that ward? I don't know. If I did, cool. If I didn't, I like this ward. Since it's unlikely for them to expect it at this stage of the game. Like, later, people check this a lot, but early in the game, we don't even have, like, these T1 towers, right? So it's quite nice there. Although Slark will now be able to start spotting all of these, but he shouldn't really be this deep in his map. Slark with a Shadow Blade wants to play like on our half and at the edges of his map. He doesn't really want to be back here because we're not going to really be back here usually. He wants to be looking for kills and kind of cycle between the lane, the jungle, and hunting for us. And that can be done towards the edge around here and our half, not back here. So they finished their items. Gonna live? Nah. We have good combos. We're able to pick off these kind of kills, which is really nice. Now it gets kind of hard to get Tinker because Kanka has a Shadow Blade, not a Blink. So the Tinker getting bots means he's going to be like, he's still going to be farming jungle a lot now with bots and lane. And then when he has a Blink is when he transitions mostly to being in lanes. And once he has a Blink, Kanka does not have a Blink. So it's going to be hard to hunt out Tinker. And if you look at our team, what do? Right? We can't stop him, and we don't have Blinks either. We don't have, like, I'm not a Sand King who can stun even without a Blink and go. It's hard for us to catch Tinker. So we're at a tough spot in the map because even though we're ahead in kills, Arc Warden is still really behind. It's getting difficult for Kanka to just solo kill people a lot. So we're at like this weird point of the game where even I'm a little lost on what to do. I say that as if like I always know what to do. But like, what do? We just need to keep making space for Arc Warden because he's our hard carry and he's been struggling a lot this game. But they're reaching their their peaks, or starting to, where Slark has a Shadow Blade, Timber is reaching a point where it takes at least 3 or 4 of us to kill him. Tinker, once he has his Blink, it's so hard to catch him. So we're just trying to take a lot of these like small fights, but it's really hard. Maybe I should have feared him first. I think I should have. Sorry, I'm speeding through this game a lot, and I don't know if that's good or bad for the video. I feel like if I don't, though, it'll be like years long. And at the same time, because it's going fast, I spend a lot of time thinking about what's happening specifically. But I think there's more like late game stuff that I want to talk about than there is like this mid game. Because this mid game is just us like trying to hang on and make space, which is what you'll see for like 20 more minutes. Get just stuff like that where we got 4 earn charges, trying to get kills. We're really low on towers, which would be nice to get, but none of us are like amazing at getting towers. Arc Warden is our best tower taker, but he's so behind, he can't really be like pushing. This kind of thing is what I was talking about, all the AoE combo, pretty nice, but the fight doesn't even work out for us in that case. The combo itself was alright though. Yeah, that was kind of a mistake on my part. I think I should have gone inside further. Lock check. Yeah, see, this guy's got Blink, Soul Ring. This guy's finished his Hood, so now our Magic Burst is a lot weaker. Slark's getting a Yasha. I guess that's okay. I don't know, I don't see that very often. On our team, this guy's starting his Maelstrom. Kanka almost finished his BKB. Underlord's very tanky. This is good. Underlord's been doing well. He's been stealing a lot of damage. So right now our game plan is to... Well, our game plan is the same. Us 4 still making space for this guy, which as you can see is struggling still. Again, not trying to flame him, just like the state of the game. See, yeah, that's kind of why. Because Slark has like this free positioning with his Shadow Blade. I haven't had time to put more sentries down. I kind of knew he was gonna die though. Like, why did his TP get cancelled? Does my root still cancel TP? I think all the roots do. Who rooted him? Was it the Pit Lord? Oh, I think it was.
Just to be clear, if I
the root changes confused me. I'm still adjusting. But I'm pretty sure the root canceled his TP. What was I just saying? Oh yeah, let me switch to free camera real quick. So here, Slark loves doing this. Slark loves running around this back lane. So you want to have a sentry down to spot him. But we only had one here at that time. You can see he puts one there now, although personally I would put it further, like more over here, since like who cares? He's not gonna be like shadow bladed running through here. You don't need to see this, right? And you'll still kind of cover up to here, even if you move this in, and then it lets you see more of this back area where the fight's probably happening. So yeah, I would probably put this like here. Not a big deal. But you can see, trying to get a lot of sentries and secure a certain area of the map. That's one thing against Slark. It's like, what's the point of seeing him if you're all split up anyways and you can't do anything? You need to pick parts of the map and try to secure them and stay together. So right now you can see 4 of us, 5 of us are like here, right? But a lot of us are in this area. So this area is very safe right now between all these sentries and all of us in this positioning. So even though we have a ward here, and let's say we had a sentry there, who cares that, like, if Arc Warden is standing here farming and then he sees Slark running here? If all of us are down here and most of the wards and sentry are there, he sees Slark, cool, and then he's gonna die anyways, even though if we see him. So against Slarks, you need to pick an area of the map and try to all stay together on that half. So let's say this bottom half, like, we can move into their side and try to secure all this, but we all need to be here. We can't be like split up like this too much. Having one person is kind of okay as long as you can see Slark. But Slark just died or he went back. So now you can see we don't know where he's gonna go. And can I click him? Yeah, he's got a TP. So right now you have to be careful. You have to say, we don't know where Slark is. We need to play conservatively until we see him. Or let me change that. Arc Warden here on his own needs to play conservatively until we see Slark. The 4 of us in our nice safe area, we're free to continue doing what we want to do because we're all together and Slark isn't going to kill any of us easily. So see, he's going to his half where they have a decent amount of vision too. See, that's kind of how you play. You kind of play like by these areas and not just like split up. So we can see him there, I think. So we know, like, okay, yeah, this area is definitely safe. And you see how we're all together? This is how you want to be. To an extent. You can't just like all 5 and follow each other camp to camp, but you also can't be like completely alone because you'll get picked off and die. Kunkka, he's very strong. He can do it. See this? He dies alone because he's here, we're all there, and we have vision. In fact, let's go back a bit and slow that down. Go back further again. How do I zoom out? Oops. Okay. So here, even though we don't have detection right here specifically, which is kind of a slight blunder. We don't have it here. Maybe it faded. I don't remember. But 3 of us, we're all together. So even though we can't see him, he decides to try to kill Skyrath really quickly. But we're all together. We can save him, get the kill. Slark is very burst heavy. It's kind of weird to think about that, a right click carry being burst, but Slark does a lot of damage up front and then depends on his ultimate to get the last couple hits off to kill you. So you see, he gets bursted really low, but before he can depend on his regular right clicking to finish the job, we root, we fear him, and then we burst him and get the kill. So by being together, even though we don't see him, this is how we prevent Slark from getting solo pickoffs. And ideally we would have seen him and be able to react before he even gets the burst off. But even though we couldn't see him, we still get something. And by something, I mean like a kill. It's great. But now we want to kind of get out a bit, since these guys are still strong. Now therefore, we killed Slark. That's good enough for us. I kind of died, but they were going to chase someone. I don't know what he's doing. This is still like, again, we're all still together. This is not how you want to go. I don't know if we want to chase this far, but Dazzle is caught off on his own, so it's not too bad. But you see he can do a lot of damage. So that's kind of a rough place. Tinker's been doing a whole bunch on the back lines. The fights are difficult for us at this moment. I don't know if that was coherent. That was kind of like... I was kind of saying a bunch of different stuff at the same time. But the main things to take away from that are that Timber was up front and Tinker was in the back. And we can't really... Like, we don't have heroes to jump on Tinker instead of Timber. And so even though we can kind of deal with Timber in that amount of time it takes us to do that, we're getting wrecked by Tinker. And that's kind of how fights go until you have some way to deal with that. And our way to deal with that is to either pick off Arc Warden or pick off Tinker, or Arc Warden gets to a really strong point, which we're not there yet. My item is a Force Staff because you're going to use it to build some distance from Snowball, get across Ice Shards, break Slark Leash, possibly use it to close in on Tinker, although Tinker is probably farther than one Force Staff can get me. And you can also try to dodge Timbersaw a bit with a Force Staff. So it's really good this game. Slark alone justifies it. Tusk alone mainly justifies it. And then all of it together is just like, yeah, we're definitely getting a Force Staff this game. Smoke together because, again, we're trying to play together, trying to do stuff, trying to make stuff happen. I don't know if Arc Warden should be with us. I feel like he should maybe just be farming. Oh, the reason we did this, by the way, is because, pause real quick. Not Arc Warden. Underlord got a gem. We felt like we were losing at this point, and we are. If you look at the kills, it looks even, 30 to 29, but they're up 4K, which isn't a huge deal, but we've lost all our tier 1 towers, and we feel the pressure of we only have mid tower, which arguably this is the best tower to have if you can only have one, but we only have one tower. Where Slark is feeling like he's starting to pop off. Tinker is getting his items. Timbersaw is getting really difficult to kill. Arc Warden is still really behind. So we're feeling the pressure a lot. So this guy got a gem to hopefully pick off Slark a lot. Like I said, Slark is starting to pop off, so he's wanting to do what I said, cycle between lane, jungle, and get kills. And Slark does that alone a lot. And if he sees us all grouped together, Slark just wants to walk away. But now we'll know when he sees us because we'll have a gem. And hopefully we are able to get some kills to pull us back in, or to at least keep them slowed down. Because if Slark keeps dying, they can't do much without him either. Like, even if they get a team fight, what? Timbersaw's gonna hit tower? Like, Slark isn't even a great tower hitter, but he's pretty much the best they have. So we're trying to get those kind of kills. This guy just wanted to leave the sentry, so I break my smoke to get it. The smoke wasn't working out. We didn't get anyone. This video is gonna be years. Nothing's even happening here, though. Like, I kind of want to speed forward a bit because I really don't feel like... I don't know. I'm not sure what else I want to cover in this video because a lot of this is just like the same and again and again and again until Arc Warden is gonna take off. Like, keep trying to make space. Try to fear him. Maybe I should slow down this fight. Sorry. Go back a bit. Oh shit, that was too far. Failed smoke. Okay. The runes, blah blah blah. Okay, so a lot of the game plan is still the same, like this whole game. It's just us repeatedly trying to buy out time for Arc Warden, because Arc Warden is kind of the hardest carry in this game. Slark and Tinker are pretty good. Slark because he can scale forever pretty much, and Tinker because Hex is a huge pain. AoE fear, he can't dodge it. Unfortunately, we're not really able to follow up. But I don't think I should have stunned him. I should have stunned someone else who can't purge it off. I wasn't thinking about it. Just walk. We're drawing this fight out a really long time, which is... Both teams are actually pretty good at long drawn-out fights, but Underlord in particular is pretty good at that kind of stuff because of his passive and Firestorm, and then the rest of us are like okay at it. Their team is good at it because Slark likes to weave in and out of fights. Timber sorta does, and Tinker likes to do everything, and then he has to go back, but then he can just come back again. So he's also kind of good at long fights.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I don't know. Right now I'm not even lost in the game, guys. I'm lost in like, what do I say? Or like, if I even continue this video, like, would it be worth stopping here, or just like, do I even bother finishing it? Maybe I'll just quit it. Because this is, I don't know, this is like a really long video, or a long game to make, and from 15 minutes to like 50 is the same game plan, like the entire time. Skyrack gets picked off a lot this game, which is not what you want against, what's his name? In fact, executive decision. Let's just jump forward. Yeah, this is about what I expected. Okay, I'm gonna jump back and speed forward through it. Okay, it's a little too fast. 4 is good, maybe. So see, we're just kind of like losing at this point, and take stock of the items, right? He is starting to get there. Arc Warden now has Mjolnir and Hurricane Pike. This is like okay. He does damage if he has space, but he gets killed really easily still. This guy has Silver Edge, Halberd, Black King Bar. That's pretty good. Makes him strong, but he struggles to kill anyone on his own, and this kind of like helps the team. But we're depending on him to do most of the damage. Having said that, Skywrath does a lot of damage. I sort of do, though I've been trying to like stay further back in fights. And Underlord is like getting ready to be a carry. He's stolen. Where is he? Yeah, this guy's got like 117 stolen permanent damage. So he is quite formidable. He survives quite a long time. I do like the Radiance pick. But it's still hard. Slark is still much stronger. Like, if you look at him, Basher, Silver Edge, SNY. Up here, he got an Ags and an Aether. This guy, really hard to kill. They don't matter as much, but the point is he can grave people. Right now, because Arc Warden keeps getting killed and has been struggling this whole game, we're behind. We're gonna win this game, let me tell you that, but it's very long process, and that's kind of what I want to get to, because the game plan up till that point is pretty much the same. Is us lose buildings and towers and hope they throw. Do this. We can't really fight this, so we should just give it up. They dive kind of far. Slark dies. Again, Slark is their main tower taker, so this actually gives us a lot of space. The Slark kill gave him a good amount, right? Where was that? 310. That's a good amount of money for him. We're gonna win this game off of repeated Tinker pickoffs, and then group fights from there, if I recall. Move forward a bit. looks even. They're about 10k ahead. Although, honestly, I was saying, like, we're losing and stuff. This isn't the worst. Like, we've lost 1 Rax, but this game is still very winnable. Playing it feels frustrating because, again, like I said, it feels like the game hasn't changed at all because the gameplay is constantly the same of when is Arc Warden going to finally pop off, which actually is sort of soon, but that's why playing the game and watching the game feels a little, like, stale. Is because it's like I didn't really have to update my thought process. Like, it was always the same of, like, I just need to do what I can to slow down the game, to buy space, to not let them go crazy. And the fact that we're close in kills is pretty good. The fact that we've only lost... Well, I don't know if we needed to lose this at that point. Like, we have pretty good high ground. I don't think we should have had to lose it. I put this here, even though he has a gem, I put my own sentry there so that later, if Slark runs through the area, like, we're not always going to be here. So we do still need sentries for people to be alone. And also in case, for whatever reason, they come to check this when we're not around and they put their own ward or something there. Having Tinker wards, if you're Tinker, is not a bad idea necessarily. Because you know they want to kill you there, so you kind of need to be there too. You know it's safe. Okay. Probably shouldn't speed through this fight. Okay, Underlord has been known to reign supreme in Roche Pit fights because Firestorm and Pit are really strong. And right now, in fact, let's go to camera. Let's out. So we are in a very... I would say we're in a much better position because first off, we're together. We're on the high ground. There's 5 of us, 3 of them, 1 down here. Tinker's alone. It'll take him a couple seconds to join the fight. This is the clone. It's pushing it out. So right now, top is pushing against us, so that's good in their favor. Mid is always pushing against us now, but because we have a catapult and this wave does not, we still have a bit of time here. Here, bottom will push against them, so that's in our favor. So now this fight is like... We are on a bit of a timer, because we do need to go get top. But we will also have the benefit of getting some tier 2 damage off, which is good for our team. We really need that stuff right now. And we can't really lose anything else mid, and it probably won't get there. So right now, we just need to make sure they don't get Roshan, and we have... like about a minute to win this fight before top starts taking damage. And immediately Tusk blinked in, but it was into a root, which is really unlucky for him. So we have the boat glitch there, the damage, the image. This guy's BKB. Oh yeah, I don't know what happened there. I think I 4-staffed him. I know I 4-staffed him, and then I think he 4-staffed himself, which, as you saw, created that like weird triangle, which was very unfortunate, and I think he dies because of it. Tusk buys back. I don't really have anywhere to go. My spells are on cooldown. Guy just has to ult out. And so, like I said, I think that was about 30 seconds. I guess it was probably about like 2 minutes because we had this catapult top. I forgot. But see there, this is pushing in. Someone needs to handle this, so he's getting it. Top pushing against them. Yeah. And now they're at our base. That was the downside to that fight. Since we lost it, this was close, which means they can get objectives. And it also means they can get this. So if you lose a fight, and like if all the lanes had been like this one and like been pushing against them, it's not so bad that we lose a fight. But we lost a fight, and this top lane was pushing into us. The catapults weren't there yet, but they were getting there. And that means they can take objectives now. And that's when losing a fight is like particularly unideal. You're gonna die here. Excellent. The good thing for us here was that like you saw it was split. They were getting Roche and then 2 were pushing here. So we are able to get both those kills actually before those other 3 are able to join in, which is a mistake on their part. Pushing the wave in is fine, but committing too far is not fine. And because of this is a big save for us. Like, we should have lost these racks right here. They should have gotten Aegis and then gone up, and then 1 or 2 of us would have still been dead, and they should be able to just take it. But because they split up, they throw away their advantage when we kill them.
Oh, bounty!
They just felt like, this is what I'm imagining, because this is how, like, this happens on my teams too, where, like, because they just won that fight, they feel this is very free to get, which it is, but it also makes them feel like they don't all need to be here, which they don't, but you can't be, like, here. You can be farming the jungle or something, but you can't be, like, at the base when you know that the 2-3 remaining heroes alive are in our base. So, even when Roche is free, you can't, like, this is not free. This is never free. So, here we're getting pickoffs, keeping us in the game. Not necessarily keeping us in the game. It's like buying time. Again, the game plan has not changed. And if you look at items, he's got bots. I mean, he's had those for a bit. He's got Shadowblade is what I meant to say. Which you kind of need Silver Edge against, what's his name, Timbersaw. And it doesn't hurt against Slark. But it also lets you pick off support heroes. Like if he uses his, what's it called? Whatever, his clone. And then bot somewhere that Shadowblades and then goes find like Dazzle or something. Very easy kill for him. Especially once he gets Hex, which is what he should be working on now, I think. Let's see, what else do we have on our team? This guy's getting a Salt Cuirass, I think, which was strange. Oh, he is. I've never used this that much before. These are tiny. I didn't even notice. Assault Cuirass, which maybe that's the way to go now because your cleave takes into account armor. I don't know. We win the game in the end, so it can't be that bad, I guess. But it did feel strange seeing it. I'm not sure what the better item would be. Like if he should just go like Daedalus or something. I kind of feel like maybe he should have. This guy, Underlord, was doing hella damage, so maybe that's why he felt like an Assault Cuirass would be good to benefit him. I finished my Spirit Vessel. I'm not sure what do I build next? Looking at the game now. Well, let's finish going through everyone's items and then decide. This guy, I don't know what he's building. Atos, maybe? Yeah, Atos. We look at their items. I don't know about this Vlad's. I don't know if it's really necessary for his team. One guy does right click, and it's this dude who has passive lifesteal from his talent if he took it. He didn't take it. I don't know. I think he kind of should have taken that. I just don't know if this Vlad's necessary. The armor aura is nice. Again, because the cleave is affected by armor, but you have one dude who really benefits from lifesteal. Like, you yourself aren't even really a right clicker. I don't think I like this Vlad's pick. Even something like Mech would have been nicer. More armor, plus a heal. Like, this guy cleaves us. It's weird. I'm talking from their perspective now. Sorry. Kunkka cleaves the enemy team, and then he uses his mech, gives you armor to prepare for the next cleave, and also heals up the damage he did. Greaves is good, deals with the silence, all of that. I don't like the Vlads. This guy, drums is kind of strange. I don't know if he needed that. Again, you have one right clicker who is Slark, so maybe in that sense he did feel like their push was weak. So like having drums does help with the push when everyone attacks a little faster. Timber, I don't know if Octarine is the buy. I'm like super critical of like their builds and like fine with ours, right? I don't. It does feel weird though because they are in the lead, and I do think they should win this game in many cases. And so in that sense, maybe it is good to criticize their item builds and why it stopped them from winning, or like contributed to it. I'm fine with this guy's build. SNY second is a little strange to me. It's not often what I see, I guess, but actually I think it's fine in the end. For our game, I feel like something else might have been better, but maybe since he has his purge already, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like what else he would have bought. Echo Saber's common. Echo Saber and SNY kind of overlap in what they do for him, though. So I guess it's up to him to choose which one he wants. And Sanj is quite nice against for status resistance since we have a bunch of AoE ones. Even though he has a purge, it doesn't hurt to have more. I don't know. I don't play carry that much. I feel like it's okay overall. I'm okay with this guy's item build as a whole. Same with him. Not like Tinker's build really ever changes. Though having said that, he could have done with a some kind of escape tool because he's gonna be solo killed a lot by like Arc Warden and Kunkka. So maybe like I know BKB is strange, but if you're getting solo killed a lot, you kind of need it. Or like a Ghost Blade or a Ghost Scepter to get out since this guy's all right click. Although he's gonna get a Hex soon, so like that's why I said BKB, is because you kind of need that. I don't know. Okay, so that's everyone's items. What do I build now? I want something to either catch Tinker or handle Slark. I have this problem a lot where Scythe feels like the best item to get, but it's like it's nearly 6,000 gold, right? As a support, that takes ages. Yules maybe feels kind of okay. Have something instant to catch Tinker. That's what the Yules is for, I mean. And to also help survive a bit. So that's Yules and Scythe. Maybe a Blink. Blink could have also been good to catch Tinker. No one on our team has one. No one on our team really would get one besides maybe Kunkka, but since he went Silver Edge, he's not going to get it. Alright, that's enough time to pause, right? I complained that this video is so long and then I just sit there like on a pause screen. Sorry. I don't know. I've accepted that I just make good long videos. I just don't know how else to explain my thoughts. Like, I feel like if you try to consolidate it, then you miss out. Or at least I do. I'm a wordy person. Alright, so we kind of have to push mid this game because, or at this point, because one, it's been taken against us, and two, it's the closest lane to get. Sorry, I lost focus. I was so focused on items, I kind of forgot what was happening in the game beforehand. But we go down mid because, at least what I would say now is that top and bottom are okay on their own. It's only mid that's always going to push against us. And since it's the shortest and we kind of need some kind of objectives and gold, it's a good spot to get, I guess. Pipe might also be okay for me. That's kind of weird, but 2 pipes against Tinker and Timbersaw, maybe. That's unfortunate. Rescue mission, get the gem. Nice. I should probably move the dust down. Usually I like to like be safe with the dust and have it for invis, but I was picking up the gem, so.
Double damage.
I'm actually not even sure how my team got those kills. I wasn't even paying attention. Go back. How does Tinker die? Oh, he comes up here. Nice. Okay, from their perspective, I would have stopped chasing right now. Tinker is dead for 100 seconds. Tusk is still dead for 40. They have 3 people. Which I know this is why they kind of want to pick someone off. This guy has a load of essence shifts stolen. And like he was low. He's not low, but he's squishy. This guy is crazy tanky. And you know, I just escaped, so you know I can't join. But it's still kind of, I don't know, it feels risky. Can I see who has buyback? He does have buyback. I don't know. Especially once he buys back, I feel like they should probably stop. But they're still kind of fronting a bit. This, oh, I remember seeing this happen. This is, real feels bad. You get like one auto attack more. All in all, that worked out for them. I think Tinker bought back though, didn't he? My fear just missed him. That's bad on my part. Right now this is good for us because they're spending, they were like diving a bunch instead of just chilling and like hitting this tower. And so now like we were able to get kills and now they don't feel safe pushing. And that's kind of a mistake on their part in my opinion. Slark had Aegis, right? Slark just hits this alone. He just hits this tower. And then, I mean, he's got his ult, he's got Purge. Even if they manage to kill him, he gets an Aegis and then he gets out. That's the safe way to play it. If they, like, dive in for kills and against an Underlord, that's, it's something.
Smart money.
Now, looks like I chose to get Yules in the game. Just to, like, get away from Snowball. Get out of, say 4 staff is down and I get pounced, I can use that to buy time. Stop, cancel, TPs. And it's cheaper, it's like half the cost of Scythe. I don't know, it's kind of a tough choice in terms of itemization. You can also use it on whoever gets graved and, like by the time they fall from Yules, a lot of the grave duration's down, and then you get the kill. Good lord, there's so much. Half an hour into this game left still. Yeah, see, that's one of them. Tinker Pickoff. Because this guy has Hex, I think? No, he has an MKB. Did he not buy Hex? I swear he got a Hex this game. I really like Hex on Arc Warden. I'm not sure I was getting these solo pickoffs without it, actually. I don't understand why Tinker would die like that when he has a blind. Oh, this, I guess that's why he got an MKB. That still feels weird to me. I don't know why. I don't think Tinker should die like that. Let's break this down. This seems good. This is a good late game thing. So we got the Tinker Pickoff, and that's why we were pushing bottom. Here's a classic late game situation. One carry top, some people bottom. And you have to decide, is it worth trading? And it's tough, because say we back to defend, we have to all leave. Like, if we leave with two people go back, and there's 3 people here, 3 people can easily be killed by 4 people. It's just a numbers game, right? But if all of us stay here to get this tower, then this one guy alone is going to get our tower. But having said that, we're already down in racks, and we really need at least a tower so that we can get out shrines. And you want a lane that will always push for you. That's something that's really good to have in the late game. It's a pressure thing. Remember when I was talking about why it was bad that we lost this fight because this lane was almost here, and that it was okay this lane because this lane was pushing for us. This lane was pushing for us because Arc Warden was pushing it. But if we get the racks here, this lane will always push in our favor, except for the fact that Tinker is in this game, and that Tinker now will have to commit a lot of time in the bottom lane to keep it pushing for them. And that's good for us to force Tinker to be in this bottom lane. It helps us know where he's going to be, and it also lets us focus more on other parts of the map if we want. Like, because we know Tinker's down here, and because we know this lane will always push for us, we can now be on this top half or this mid lane that is pushing against us and keep that pushed in. And since we know Tinker's going to be on the bottom, we can either set up for that, or it's kind of how Arc Warden / Kunkka are going to get a lot of solo pickoffs on him, is because I'm pretty sure he always dies in this bottom lane actually. But let's just go with this first. This positioning, I don't think Skywrath needs to be up here. Skywrath should be a bit further back. Unfortunately, we don't have any sentries, so we all kind of need to be around this Underlord for Slark. The only sentry I had, I think I put back here. Because of that, Slark can quite easily reach us and attack. That's kind of why I have this, is so that I can see if Slark comes this way or tries to loop around. But there's still a space around here for him to see us. And granted, if he teleports a shrine, it's very unlikely he runs this way instead of just like straight there. But it is scary to be back here against Slark when the gem is up here and we don't have a sentry back here. I don't think we have a sentry. Yeah. So usually I would say like supports want to be further back, but against a Slark, it is kind of okay to be more up front. Kunkka gets his TP canceled because this is heat of the moment. This is like I was saying, like, do we trade this? And we're already losing it. So he's trying to go back, but TPing there is very bold. We are able to get a good amount of kills, force him to come back. Now see what I was talking about though, some people have left, everyone else is going to get killed because we didn't get out in time. This is pretty much what decides late games, is like having that decision making on like, well, that's not true. There's a lot that decides late games. But this is a big thing that will happen in pubs that I think a lot of people don't know how to handle. Is like, when do you go back? And the thing is, it doesn't matter what you decide so much as having everyone agree to it and follow through. When you have one person do it, that usually means you lose because like 4 people get killed or something like that. Or 4 people back and one person stays and they get killed, and then the enemy team pushes up 5v4 and gets a kill. So whatever you choose has to be like a full team decision. And in that case, we all were trying to get out, but we left at different times because we had a bit... That's not true. We had a bit of a different idea, and then we agreed we needed to get out, but we weren't able to in time, really. Underlord ult saves us a bunch. Where am I? Supposed to be about my player's perspective or whatever, right? I picked up more sentries again because, like I mentioned down there, the gem was up front and I wanted to be further back, but I can't be because I didn't have a sentry. But I still need to keep some. And you still need to keep some, like, we can't only have true vision around Underlord. Like, we need to know where Slark is. We were joking about this corner, this game, my team, that Slark and Dazzle really like to be in that corner. That was Dazzle's tree. So that's why those are there, is to just help spot when they're there all the time.
Welcome back.
See right now this guy, chilling back here, waiting for him. Yeah, this is what wins games. This is what you need to do against Tinker. Hide in trees and get him. I don't mean that in a flaming way, but I mean, it is. Like, he just gets killed for nothing. And then the other guys try to do something about it. Dazzle gets killed for it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle
Man, what
tower
a
has
game. I'm tired. I'm tired just watching this game. So here, now I can drop a sentry and I feel safe being a bit further back. I'll have some time to react when I see Slark. Frequent use of Underlord ult. That's how you should do it. Or committing to a full fight that we really didn't need to take. And if, yeah, you look at buybacks, we only have 2 right now, so we don't really want to blow them. And that guy had Aegis. We don't want to take a prolonged fight on their base around that, so get the tower was the main goal. Happened to get Slark's Aegis too, which is quite nice. And then we get out safely. It's very good. Good stuff.
is under attack.
Take a look at items real quick. Instead of pausing, I'll just slow it down. Normal. Yeah, there we go. Now he has a hex to definitely get the pickoffs. What did he trade for this? Oh, the Midas. That's kind of weird. I feel like he should just backpack the Midas. I don't know if it's worth selling it, but whatever. This guy got a Divine, which I'm kind of okay with, and also kind of like, we were actually starting to come back at this point. I don't know if we necessarily needed to get that, but it's not actually a bad item for Kunkka. And considering we have Underlord and me, which are pretty good at disengaging, it felt okay. Here we just need to try to get out because he just died, didn't have buyback. This game was very back and forth. I mean, that always happens when you get to late game and it's not a total stomp. Who just beat? Is it you? You? Fire? Why did Slark BKB? I'm so curious. Let's go back. like a misclick. I bet he tried to silver edge. I bet those buttons are next to each other. That's pretty good for us. Like, not like we knew it in game, but like, I know for a fact they don't feel as comfortable now pushing because his BKB just popped.
Got it.
And so that could honestly be the reason why they aren't pushing harder 5v4 right now, is because he just BKB'd by accident. I don't know that for a fact, but that's what I would guess. And honestly, playing this game, I was surprised like that they didn't really do anything while Skywrath was dead this whole time. Two of their cores have buyback. Their two main cores as well. I don't know, he was dead for like 100 seconds, wasn't he, Skywrath? So I was pretty surprised they didn't push more, and I guess I am gonna guess that's why, is that that he accidentally BKB'd. And so even though that kind of stuff doesn't necessarily make or break games, sometimes it kind of does. Because that's the weird thing about Dota. It's a lot about big decisions, but then there's also small things that like then affect your big decisions. And so like, I'm not gonna say we win because of that, but like maybe we did win because he misclicked one button. And sometimes those kind of decisions or those kind of actions do have a large effect on what kind of the bigger plays he can make. Like they didn't push. I don't know. Could be. Right now I don't have Dustin because we have a gem, don't we? Yeah, we have a gem. So I don't need it for fights. And I was hoping we would smoke. Or I was like, we were like thinking about it, but then also a little uncertain, so I just had it ready to smoke. A wand is nice, but honestly, at this point of the game, if I'm gonna die, a wand probably isn't gonna save me. So that feels like the most okay thing to swap out. Like wards feel more important to have than the 20 charges from my wand. Even though we don't get anyone here with this smoke, we do clear out this area. And this is another way you want to play in late game, is like, see how we're all together and we're trying to retake a part of our map. The enemy team's not going to fight us, or if they do, we're ready. And now we have a bit of vision over there. That ward's not that unique, but late game against Slark is kind of hard to get wards out anyways. So at least now that it's there, we can see, like we just saw Slark there. So we feel a little bit safer, free. Like we know they're there, and we can see that he wards. Actually, I don't know if we know that. That might just be a bug in replay, but we can at least see he's there. And so now we know the top path is a bit safer, which I kind of feel like maybe we should have gone there. I'm not sure what we were deciding at that point in the game. We were probably literally deciding what to do. This was a fairly talkative team, which I like having. And so we did try to debate a lot, like, should we move out as a group right now? Should we, like, XXX? Alright, first mistake. Kunkka. Crazy tanky. Okay? It's very difficult to kill this guy in this point of the game. Even though he has the Divine, I know that's probably why they wanted to get him. Very difficult to kill Kunkka. Especially with his rum buff. BKB. Very difficult to kill. Then... okay, here we are. This is the mistake on his part too, though. Like, he probably shouldn't really be farming here alone. We are right here, and we do see them over there, but I don't know how necessary like this one camp is to get, right? But slow down, half speed. Like Slark, first off, overlap. I'm pretty sure Slark abyssalled him, or yeah, and then he punches him. It's an overlap, which not like it would have guaranteed the kill anyways. But we're right here. This is a little bit defensive. Maybe I could have gone a bit further up. And then you see me start to channel the fear, and then I thought I wouldn't get it, so I stopped it. And I started again. I should have canceled that one. I thought Slark was going to re-engage and I would hit them, but as that guy was dying, I knew inside, I was like, I should cancel this, but I didn't in time, or I didn't at all. I don't know what happened then, but this was us saying like, oh, maybe we should get out because Husk just bought back, but we didn't really need to. It was kind of reactionary, so he just cancels it. You look at it, this is crazy, so much damage. But anyways, this is just a bad fight for Slark to take. Like, Kong has 4,000 health. He's not gonna do that. And 4 of us are right there. It's not a good fight for them. Bugged. Holes in my map. Oh, there are. Back to players for a second.
I wish I had this back in top. Remarkable damage.
Okay, put that again. Again, we've been winning off Tinker pickoffs, so why not keep it going? Keep trying to have vision. And we're trying to focus vision a bit in this area. Have somewhere safe to play. Mainly because this is our last racks. Yeah, there's one top, but this is our main like set. And we know that they want to play here a lot. Again, pick off bottom while he's getting Roche. Bad. That's a mistake on Tinker's part. Even though that Roche was free, you shouldn't push lanes at that time. There's no point in risking your life like that. Especially since it's happened like 3 times now. You should just farm jungle or something and be ready to fight Roche. Like, we're actually great at contesting Roche. I think they knew we were bottom, but even so, you should just like chill near Roshan at this point of the game. That's my opinion. Also note that since this guy has Divine, not only the Divine but the Gem, you need to keep in mind, you need to be like ready, have a plan. Like, it sounds obvious, but it's like, if he drops something, what do I get out of my inventory? As a support, it's easier, right? You like drop a ward or wands or something into your backpack. But as a core, that's something you should also think about. Like, which of these items do I drop to pick up Konka's Divine? Be ready to do it quickly. I think he should have started this a little sooner. But 4 out and Tinker's buyback, not bad. Like, once we hit that Rax, he could have used it. Another Hex. Slark can now purge it, but it's still good. And now at this point, we're winning, I would say. Not only because we have more racks, but we were losing, right? And even though they technically have a gold advantage here, the fact that we came back at all is like a huge morale swing for us. Konka doesn't make it to hit them, but he also doesn't want to because they have some Yules on their team now, right? Oh, they only have 1. Oh, no, they have 2, yeah. And Yules will prevent him from being X back, and he definitely doesn't want to die like that. And I'm not just saying that, like, we talked about this in the game. So that is the kind of, like, stuff you have to think about ahead of time. Like, I need to be careful not to throw because I know they can Yules my X mark, and then I'll be left alone, like, way out here by myself while my team is, like, back here and over here, and maybe I could die. And similarly, like, having that idea of, like, okay, if he drops his Divine, I'm going to move my wards down and pick it up, and then, like, Shadow Realm and try to get out. Just thinking about these things, especially in the longer games like this, just having these plans ahead of time will help you not panic in the moment. Like, I don't know if Tinker was actively thinking, like, why am I continuously getting picked off? What do I do to prevent that? And what you do to prevent that would be, like, do I know where all of them are? do I then TP there? Like, see, look at this. Last place he saw, I say look at this, and I'm not clicking him. Where is he? No, I was so slow in that time he killed him. But like, the last place Arc Warden was seen was bottom. Why did he TP bottom? It's just habit of like, oh, I need to push this lane out. But how many times has he been killed by Arc Warden? How many times has it happened? How has it happened? He keeps doing the same thing. So it's hard in-game to do it, but you really need to. If you keep repeating the same mistake to lose, you lose. Heals. Nice. Steer him while he's ulted. Trying to stay back because I'm low, but also still be part of the fight, because these kind of fights are like, we're so close. It's like we need to win one more fight, a couple more to end the game. Man, that would have been bad if I didn't make that. I would have been walking towards them. I would have just died. That Yule's there. That's part of the reason why it was really good to get it. Slark was going on me, and then I Yules, and he can't just sit around looking for me. He has to go chase another target, and then by the time my Yules ends, like, does he leave that target to come get me? This is bad. In fact, I'm going to rewind and point that out. We're winning. 2 of them are dead. We're healing because we were just like so low. And now he walks out alone. For what? Again, I never mean to flame in this game. It sounds bad when I say it like that, right? But literally for what? Like, why would you come out here, and what does that do for you? Ask yourself that in the game. Like, why am I here? And can I die for this? Especially ask that. Can I die for this? And being out there alone against Slark is like, yes, you can die for this, and there's not much I'm getting out of it. I can push the lane, sure, but I can do that when it's here in my base as well. I don't urgently need to push it out. And a lot of us were just in the base, like, recouping. It doesn't hurt to say, like, hey guys, let's go push this lane out, and then all of us go, and then you don't get picked off. And so it's hard in pubs, but like, honestly, the biggest counter to like Slark and Tinker and pick off heroes is just good communication. Like, hey, let's all go together. This was a mistake. He went on Tusk, and if we compare Tusk to Tinker, let's look at Tinker. Tinker's got 2,000 health, 11 armor. Can I click this? Yeah, there we go. 40 resistance and 30 magic resistance. We look at Tusk. Tusk has 60 physical resistance. I don't think he should have 100 magical resistance. Why does it say he has 100? Oh, because he's in the snowball. But Tusk has his own save in the snowball. He has this Lotus Orb. He has Spirit Vessel. He has a Blink. He has his Punch, this Ice Shard. Tusk is a lot more difficult. He also has 3,300 health. Tusk is a lot more difficult to kill than Tinker. Very, very low health, not a lot of resistance. And so you see he tried to kill him and overstayed his welcome because Tusk was too hard to kill and he chased too long. And now, even though just a second ago we were all 5 alive, 2 of their cores, not 2 cores, I think it was like Timber and Dazzle, but 2 players dead. I think I maybe should have Yulesed him and then TP'd out. But I was hoping he didn't see me, and looks like it worked. But we went from a 5-3 advantage and just had 2 people solo picked off. And that's how you lose these kind of games. It's like, we just threw it away. Like, we had a 5-3 advantage. Could have just all gone together down a lane. Could have probably gotten those top towers or something. But instead, one person gets picked off, and then we're not sure what to do. And this guy tries to repeat what he's done, but picks a target that's too tanky. And now he gets picked off alone. And now it's switched. Now they have 5 people, and we had 3. Now we have 4. But we don't want him to have to buy back, and he's still dead for like 30 seconds. So solo pickoffs are pretty much the story of long games. People who die alone. And it's hard because like you do have to try to make plays, but at the same time, You gotta make the right play. Remember how Tonka got Timber to pop his BKB earlier? Never mind, it wasn't relevant. It was so long ago. I thought that I was gonna say that Timber wasn't able to use his BKB because it was popped earlier, but I guess it was long enough ago that he was able to. But it's at least a charge down, right? Where is it? Yeah, it's now down 1 charge. Again, let me redo this. Actually, let's go back a bit because this is the deciding fight. The end of this ultra long video. Okay, so Timber's BKB is down, but it's about to be up because he has Octarine and that cooldown talent. But it is at least 1 charge lower than what it could have been. I was going to lead up to the point where like another small thing like that added into this bigger fight here. And why it's good to, like, even though he wasn't going to kill Timber, he got him to proc the BKB. Okay, let's slow down here. Deciding fight. This, I think, is really bad. Tinker is a backline hero. He spams rockets, spams march. When you see one person alone, you go to them, you instant hex them, and perma-hex them by cycling through Dagon Hex. Dagon Hex, sometimes you throw in lasers and rockets, whatever. But you do not blink into the middle of the fight with 4 people. He was excited about a pick-off, I guess. Like, he sees Slark about to go on someone, he's like, okay, let's do it, let's go. Let's get Konka and the Divine. But Konka's got a BKB. Konka's got 4.4 HP. Konka's got Tidebringer. Konka's got Underlord with his passive and his Crimson Guard and Guardian Greaves and Pipe and Radiance and a Hex and a guy with the Fear and Stuns and Roots, and this guy contributes nothing team-wise. Only damage. But this is really very bold. Look how far back Tusk is. Look how far back Dazzle is. Dazzle can't. Oh shit, Dazzle can reach. He didn't even take the cast range. Damn, Aether's good. But he's still walking forward. Now Dazzle can't reach. Okay? Does he even have buyback? He does not, because he bought back earlier. Or maybe that's a bug, because I don't know. But this is really bold to come in so far when he doesn't have his own BKB to purge silences. Tusk saves him right there. He was going to die. Slark BKBs and he's going in. Tinker gets graved thanks to that Tusk snowball. But we're chasing him. I talked about how bad it was. He does live for a long time. But I don't think he should have died at all, so I'm still going to say that it's bad. And even though we all have to buy back, they have someone who can't buy back at all. And we're on our base. We're now 5v4. A lot of their spells are down. We have many low cooldown spells. Save this guy. Now he wants to kill Underlord, but guess what? Underlord's extremely tanky. Still probably gonna die here. Skyrash dies, but now he's alone. We can kill him. Underlord's so tanky, he's still buying himself time. He even somehow gets a Dazzle kill. This guy switched targets, and because of that, Underlord's not gonna die. Now Timbersaw's gonna die because this guy, guys, the game plan didn't change for the whole 67 minutes. He's online. You can't just ignore him. He is just auto-attacking, did a shitload. It took like 50 minutes for him to come online, but damn, he did it. And now Slark's alone, and we're like, yo, do you have Rift? He does. Hooray, we've done it. Gonna Rift us in. We're like, Konka, get in here. Forget buying bots. You have Underlord. Poof. Or in their base. You know who's great at holding things even from behind? Tinker. But you know who isn't alive? Tinker. Because he blinked into our base while his supports were back here and his Timbersaw was like back somewhere. And now he's dead without buyback. And guess what? We're in the base. Somehow we won. Despite our best efforts. Getting picked off. They did it more. They got killed more. They have the gold advantage, but we're gonna win because they don't have buyback. Because this guy blinked way too far in and died. And that's late game Dota. They don't even need to get distracted by these guys, honestly. We could have just killed this, focus it down. Like, what could Slark do? I don't think he had a TP to make it to the back, and we had Rift to get in. So if I had to summarize that, it was get solo pickoffs, don't get solo pickoffs, keep creating space. I don't know if this video is any good, guys, but I made it, and so I'm gonna put it out. It's probably like 2 hours or something. Oh, I'm tired and my throat's dry. Goodbye.